Hello! This is Tutu Animates. I'm the director of The Intruder, and I voice as Henry and the man himself in the movie. This is actually my first time reacting to the full product. I've only seen it in bits. Anyways, this project began in mid-2022, but I lost interest right away, so many years later it finally picked up. So we're about to see the finished product. So the film here is a mesh of what's in the game and what's the lore, explored by multiple people. So here we have our main character Henry with his wife Sarah and his son Jason.
Hey Henry.
That's Anastasia. Virolly right there has Sarah. Here's me as Henry. This is based on Henry's account of what happened in the beginning part of the end chapter. Now, the reason why I have this in is because they know who's living in these woods, but however, they have no idea what they're about to encounter. So, this is gonna be a very crazy ride. So, here's the intruder. He's purposely standing in the middle of the road, and you're about to see why in a second. Boom. And there we go. The car's gone. Just gone. The intruder's just proud of his work. And the intruder himself is, he's 8 feet tall. He could shapeshift as said by his creator. And he's just walking away like nothing ever happened. He just stood in the middle of the highway to get them killed. You can see it's already killed Sarah. Jason here is voiced by Guesty Gamez, who voices as Amy in Hackers, War for the White Astral. And I had other voice actors in mind, but however, they either wouldn't respond or they were unavailable at the moment. So Guesty Gamez was the final option that actually came through for once. Poor Sarah. You know, Virolly asked to get killed multiple times, but however, everyone just kept keeping her alive. But however, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna let her die. You know, she got her wish. She got what she wanted. Okay, and here we're gonna see Jason's running off to find a friend, which we know is not gonna happen because we already know what happens to him in the game. And Henry's just left all alone with a corpse and a broken down car that's now on fire. It really makes you feel bad for the guy that he's lost someone that he's cared for most in his life. So here's Jason walking through the woods. The reason why it's darker here is because on the highway there are these lights that are illuminating the roads. So obviously that area is a lot more brighter, but here it's just plain darkness. And like you could see at least 5 to 10 feet in front of him. And here we go. Here's the cave. So this section is based off the VHS tape, the hideout from the Intruder game. So this is what it looks like in the game actually. Jason's going into it. It's a bit bigger than it should be, but however, because he's a kid and the intruder's a grown-ass man, it's obviously going to be very large. And there are these multiple drops that actually do exist in the game, so this isn't any continuity or whatever error you want to call it. So Jason's about to jump down, and he's going to eventually stumble upon something here. I won't spoil what. Ignore that lighting error. That just happened for no reason. And here's his hideout. This is the intruder hideout from the outside. I mean, in the end chapter, we know what it looks like on the inside. So, there's actually supposed to be shuffling here, but however, I thought it would be too obvious using it. And you shouldn't do that, Jason. It's gonna bring out the bad. And here he is. I voiced the Intruder in the movie, and I tried to do a voice that was similar to the game's creator, Bulderme, and I think I really achieved that here. It sounds like the actual voice lines from the actual game. You could barely tell us apart here. Don't tell him your name, Jason, otherwise he's literally gonna find your real life location, because the world these days is and here's something that's I don't think has ever been revealed yet, but I don't know where he saw Jason on the TV. Maybe he's a acting star or something, or he was just on the news. Yeah. I don't want to know what that fun is, really, because it's obviously going to be mauling him to death. So Jason obviously has the good idea here to run. Oh, there he is. The Intruder knows. And here comes the chase. Now, there was supposed to be a maze here, but however, we removed it because there was a similar scene from the Evil Alfred 2 where another kid named Sarah went into a alleyway maze and right at the end got killed. So that was the reason why I decided not to include the maze here, because otherwise people are going to go, oh, you copied the Evil Alfred 2, even though this would have been based off the real game. So we got the ladder here. The ladder's in the game. It's just deeper. It's in the maze, but however, we didn't include the maze. So he's climbing. And you think he's safe here, but however, right at the end here, right about, oh my god. Yep. Rest in peace, Guesty Gamez. There's his head, and here comes the body. Now, here's a fun fact. That's the bottom half of his head. The Intruder actually bit off the rest of the head, so basically everything in the bottom half's still there. And here's the intro. I did a recreation of the actual letters, and this is gameplay footage from Rogert and PJL Films, which is why I got interested in the game. Now, there was supposed to be a scene here where Henry was supposed to go schizophrenia episode, but however, it was so terrifying that it had to be cut out. So we instead jumped to the therapist scene here where he figures out he has schizophrenia. So the scene was supposed to include him seeing the Intruder and the corpses of Sarah and Jason. And he would have seen himself at one point with no body parts, so that's why we ended up cutting the whole thing. It was just too scary. So instead we jumped to here. And this VHS tape here comes in really handy here in the next scene because in the first encounter VHS tape we learned that he has the VHS tape, so that's why we were able to hear that. And here's the house. Fun fact, this house map, beyond the room here, is a replica of what's seen on the map. Okay, that's very ominous. So here, this is from the game. This is a replica of what we have seen and heard in the game. Now, obviously, this is a Roblox animation, so nothing's gonna be exact. But however, I think it's perfect enough for people to be like, oh, I remember that was in the game. So yeah. And yep, here comes the Intruder. Now the reason why all the lights go red here is because I wanted the environment to look exactly like it did in the first encounter. The first encounter is actually when Henry physically gets to see the Intruder for the first time in his house. Like, physically. Every encounter he has up to this point is a hallucination. So right beyond that door is the guy himself. You're making a big mistake, Henry. So here, like, if you compare this to the first encounter, you're gonna see that it looks exactly similar, except for the wall color. Otherwise, that would be a continuity error. So he is walking in the hallway. Now, the reason why we don't go beyond this point is because, well, you're gonna see here in a sec. Yep. The intruders just found... Yeah. You better run, buddy. You better run. Yeah. That's it. You better run. You better run. And I like how I was able to close the door here perfectly. And here comes the guy. Now, the jump scare that's about to come up here was actually in the original game, but however, it's not anymore because it obviously updated. But this was back when 8-Bit Ryan played the game, so, oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the old jump scare. You would have seen this in both the house and the mall chapters if you were around back in 2022. So, and here we go. Henry's come to. He's actually bleeding here because the intruder didn't want to kill him just yet, but however, he just wanted to torture and toy with him, so that's why he's not dead yet. And the intruder was not smart enough to close the door on his way out, so yeah, he's nowhere to be seen. But he is gone. He's back to his lair, just tearing apart Jason's body more. So, yeah. This is the point in the film where Henry takes it into his own hands because he knows the police really can't do anything because this guy's constantly on the move. So, he's going to resort to using the cameras here that are in his closet. And he's going to start setting them up all around the house at the exact points where they are in the game. For example, that's the camera that's at the door. That's the one in the living room right there. And here's the one where we see the streets. So he's setting up one right there outside. So he's really taking the measures necessary. And then finally the one in his room. Even though that's only for when you're spectating. When you die. Now this is a breakthrough here because this is the point where we decide, you know what? We had enough of decals because every film to this point has used just flat decals for the computers. However, for this film, I wanted them to be actual physically moving, so I decided to use CapCut's motion tracking, and this is actually a green, blue, red, and pink screen. The camera's not actually there, so while in post, we'll remove it and replace it with that. And this is where the fun begins. This is the exact same message from the game, obviously. And yeah. We have received reports that criminals in your local area. Unfortunately, the phone service will be down for repairs. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the hell up. Yeah, I've heard this message multiple times. Now, here's the interesting thing. The back part here actually says he'll rip your face off. Like, right here, right here, right here. Right here. Yep, see, he'll rip your face off. Yeah, that's why it says backwards. It's just backwards because otherwise it'll get Roblox moderation to go, oh, that's inappropriate, you're gone. And here's when the intruder shows up. Yep, that camera's blinking, which means someone's right there. And here's where the classic game gets started. So, here we go. Oh, hey buddy. I haven't seen you in a few weeks. So, this is accurate to the gameplay, so he starts outside and progressively goes to your room. He goes to the closest room around him, so he's about to turn up in the living room next. Whereas, when the game originally released, he could go from outside right to your room in seconds. And here's yep, right in the face. And the images here work exactly the same as they did in the game. For example, there's the far image where the intruder's in the image, but however he's far away. And then there's close, which was a few seconds ago, where he's right up at the camera's face. And then there's the empty where he's not there. So, they work exactly the same. Rip the phone. The intruder is actually outside the door. You're gonna see here in a second. He's gonna be right in the face of the camera. Yeah, right there. It's right outside the door. You would usually hear his footsteps, but however, I mean, it's that you're like, is he there? No, he's not there, actually. I haven't heard his footsteps. I want to build up that suspense. And here's when things get scary. These are voice lines from the actual game. The intruder's now trying to impersonate Henry's father, who's not there, actually. He's trying to lure Henry out like he does in the actual game with the players. So Henry's gonna hide himself away, and this is the familiar part. I'm pretty sure some of you might remember this. If you were on Discord, this is from one of the old one of the old things I drew. A storyboard that I did. This is exactly to what I drew. This was actually meant to be in the actual movie, but however, yeah, you know, it never materialized in 22. 23! Oh, 23. Okay. So, he's gonna turn... Now, you're gonna notice that there's no anxiety or awareness meter. The anxiety is still there, but however, it's not gonna kill him. The awareness is there, but however, you can't see it, so he's gradually, throughout the film, gonna become very aware that Henry is there. So, for right now, he's starting to build up that suspense. So, yeah. And here's the power. This actually means that the intruder's back behind that wall, messing with the power box outside. So there's a power box outside, and then there's a one here. He messed with the one outside. So Henry's gonna have to replace the fuses here in a second. Some of the sound effects here are me doing stuff that like, for example, here that was the sound of me tossing my backpack around, and these are gun loading things from online. So yeah, some sounds can be very interesting. And then here's a part where it gets really creepy because the intruder's gonna come in a different way. He's gonna come from the vents now, from the vent that we see in the room. So he's gonna appear here on the camera in a second, right in the vent. This is the only point where his limbs actually move. Every other foe, he's just straight up. So Henry's gonna turn off, and how it works is you'll hear him, and then you turn off the lights in the game, and then you don't move until the intruder closes the vent. So it's the same thing here. He's not moving, and the intruder has fled the scene again, exactly as he did in the game. And back to St. R.S. And this is the only time where we see the basement. There was an old scene of the first encounter where he was supposed to come from the stairs, but however, a file corruption ended up happening, so it never materialized. And here's one of the far shots, as I've said before. And here he comes. We're seeing him coming right now. And this is, yeah, right here. You would have heard him in the actual game coming from the hallway, so his footsteps would be hearable. So he's gonna check the closet again. Now you're gonna notice that the animations here are the original animations from the game, and you're probably like, well, you used a animation stealing program to obtain them. There's no question. The Intruder model that we used for the film had animation saves that already had the animations in them, so that's why the original animations make an appearance in the movie. And this is the part where Henry gets very cocky, like, aha, he didn't see me. I could survive very long. Don't get cocky, kid. It's just gonna lead to your death. Yeah. And there are a few errors with the camera system, but however, it's new, so it's not gonna be perfect. And yeah, I love this part. He's literally gonna annihilate the phone. Bye-bye. Okay. The intruder's now fully aware because that phone has went off and he's heard Henry, so now he's gonna try to break in the room. Yeah, so now he knows Henry's in there, so he's gonna do anything he can to get in there. So, yeah, the door's starting to come off. One more hit, and there we go. He's in the room. Yep, all hope's lost. There's nothing left that could be done. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. Oh, wait, the police is here. The police is here to bust your ass. This scene actually had to be redone on the very last night while, I was editing the movie because the old one, the car race, actually broke, so, they could only move by the C-frame, so I had to redo the animations for that. So that was the last shot I ever did. And the intruder has now actually fled the scene. So the intruder's now still out there. Yeah, he's left the door in its place. This is a way to conclude Chapter 1 with the police coming to save Henry. This film took around a month, 4 weeks to make. The reason why it took that amount of time is because I have 24 hours every day to do this, so I was able to get it done in a short amount of time with a lot of effort. And this is the end of the chapter. So, conclusive and upbeat. The intruder remains on the loose. Yeah, there's always that catch. You know, you've survived, but the intruder's still on the loose. And here, this is going to be a teaser for the upcoming chapters. You know, the mall and everything else. This is actually underneath the hotel chapter. I won't tell you who this is yet, but eventually, with time, you'll find out. So yeah. That's it. The film's done. Now, the reason why I put the Living Tombstone here is because the game was inspired by the Mandela catalog and Five Nights at Freddy's. So, why not end it on the same game that started it? So, thank you so much for listening to the commentary, and I'll see you next time. Peace.